Hello y'all out there on YouTube. This is Rob from Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today I have a little review for you and kind of impressions of this knife that I was able to get in on the Kickstarter for. This is the Navs Knives Labder. I believe this is by Ben Peterson. This is his knife. A lot of people call him Ben Banters, you know, because he has the Banter done by We and the Baby Banter done by Civivi. Both really fantastic knives. I've owned both, and I have the Baby Banter still. I love that one. I would have kept my Banter had I known that he had some really cool micarta scales that he sells that are contoured that work fantastic on the Wee Banter, and it has a better cutout to get to the liner lock. Didn't know about that. Wish I had. Just wishing Ben had, you know, somehow gotten the information to me. I know it's not his job, it's my job to look, but man, I may have to go back and rebuy that knife just because I found those fantastic micarta scales, and it looks like it just makes that knife perfect. But this is a review about his own company's knife. It's called the Navs Knife Labder. He released this as a Kickstarter earlier in the year, and I signed up for it. And he needed, I think he was trying to raise $20,000 to start the company. He ended up doing like $89,000 or something, which is phenomenal. He sold a bunch more knives, I think, than he expected, and I was excited for him. The cool thing about this knife, if you don't know, it has the Ben Peterson engineering and ergonomics that he likes. He wants it to be like the 4-finger test, has to be, you know, deep carry, easy to carry, and all sorts of stuff, and affordable, right? So this is a very affordable knife. I think it sells for $59 right now. And it's made out of D2 steel, and I don't know if you can see that. That is D2 steel, and you see the little what's up guys, and that's his phrase that he did when he was at Blade HQ. And this is called a Labder, so you see that. And then on this side, that's Navs Knives. That's the company little logo right there, and it's thumb stud deployment. This is a black G10 right here, and it's a deep carry steel clip right here with recessed screws, which is really nice. And what you'll notice, something is unique about this knife, is that there's 2 screws here. These 2 screws are for the actual scale, right? And then there's 2 screws over here. That's for the scale as well, and that's for the clip. And then there's 2 screws here. Once you remove the clip screws in the back, this is a filler for where the clip is. Once you remove these 2 screws, the scales come right off, and you can swap them out without taking any of the knife apart. You don't have to take the blade out, recenter it, do anything like that. You can swap out the scales. And I'm thinking of like getting maybe some pink scales, making this my wife's knife or something, you know, putting it in her purse so she can have a knife. I think that would really be a great little knife for her, right? But it is very compact. And you notice it's about 4 fingers for me, so relatively small. I mean, just a little, and it is a liner lock. You can see that with a liner lock, and it does drop shut really nicely because it's on cage ceramic ball bearings. It's got the 2 thumb studs here. This is a D2 steel. It's a nice flat grind on this blade. It goes all the way out to a very sharp edge, and it's got a very, very nice sharp edge from the factory, which I really enjoy. Some jimping on top of the blade right here, which is great for good traction and if you need to do any sort of cuts and stuff. And, you know, again, the liner lock, really easy to close with the cage ceramic bearings. It has just really nice action. And when it goes into, you can see when it hits the little detent, it locks right in, right? So it's not going to fall out. That's really nice. And you can reverse flick this little puppy, this little knife. It's really nice, this little blade, this little knife. I really like it, the Labder. So that, to me, the action is phenomenal. I just really like this. I mean, you know, for $59, this is a ridiculous amount of knife that you're getting. It's just a value, just a great value. I don't know who the OEM, but they did a great job, and he was all over them to make sure it was correct. You notice it's very well centered. I really like that as well. This is kind of a black finish on here, and I like that. It's a black stone, maybe a stonewash finish, I'm thinking. It's not DLC, I don't think, but and I do like it's got steel liners inside, so, you know, obviously the scales fit right over that, and you're not going to have to worry about the scales being all the support for the knife. It does have 2 backstops, these 2 right here, and he sells all these parts on Navs Knives website. You can replace these, you can replace the pivots and stuff. So what I could do with my knife, if I wanted to, you know, make it stand out a little bit, I could get like the steel color screws and make it stand out with the black on here. You can even replace the thumb studs as well. And he has some that has the Rhino tritium inserts that glow. That's really, really cool as well. You notice he uses almost a full grip here for the blade, so it's a really great utilization, so you get really good amount of blade. Now it is a shorter blade, which is going to be great for some of you guys in certain states. So let's go ahead and take a little measurement of that and see what it is. I like to measure what the grip is first, and the grip on here, it looks like it's about a little under, just barely over 3.5 inches. Maybe, I don't know, just barely a quarter, 1/16 over 3.5 inches, right? And then the overall length of the knife total here is going to be 6¼ inches. Yeah, 6¼ inches. And then the blade itself is going to be, let's get the blade here. The blade is going to be, looks like it's from the very tip to the end. It looks like it's maybe 2¾ a little less, maybe I want to say 5/8, maybe 2 5/8. The blade, the cutting edge on this one is going to be just over 2.5 inches, and that's going to be maybe 2 5/8, right? Yeah, so it's okay, so the whole blade length, it looks like it's 2 3/4, and then it's 2 5/8 for the cutting edge. All right, so that's that. So it's under 3 inches. It'll be legal in some states where that may matter for you, so it's something good to know. It is a frame lock, a liner lock. Sorry, it's a liner lock, and it locks up pretty well. There's a little relief you can see in here, so it's pretty easy to get to. If you use your full finger on there, you push down and it drops pretty easily. I like that, right? So it's very easy to release. And it does lock up pretty well. It looks like it's about good 30% there. Solid. There's no rock play or anything like that. It's really solid in there. I do like that a lot. And so that's definitely enjoyable. Now let's check out the screws on this thing here. And I think the pivot might be a T8. Let's see. And if you want to look, that's a T8 right there. So yeah, that's a T8. And I'm pretty sure, I know that these scales right here, these are T6s. So yeah, T6, and then T6s for the deep carry clip. So that's what you got there. And T6s, is not always the best, but find a little cheap knife like that. And I say cheap, I mean inexpensive, not cheap in quality, because this is really a great deal for the money. On an inexpensive knife like this, that's okay. I mean, I can't complain about that. And it's got D2 steel. That's not a bad steel as well. It's almost stainless. It's not considered fully stainless, but very stainless, rust resistant, if you will. It's got a little chimping, like I said over here before. Good grip up here. I mean, you can sort of choke up, I guess, a little bit, but I like that. I like that a lot. The clip doesn't dig in. It's not an uncomfortable clip. I do like that. It's a deep carry recessed screws. You can see it's got a little clip up, so it goes up well over your pants and stuff, and it slides in and out really nicely. It's not super sharp on the edges. That's been rounded nicely. And let's see here, this top has been rounded. It's not super sharp as well, so that's very comfortable. So overall, this is a great little knife. Something worth considering. I've enjoyed carrying it. I kind of consider this as maybe a gym shorts knife or a fifth pocket knife, or it'd be a great gifting knife, to someone who's maybe never had a knife before. I think this would be a great first knife. If you're getting into knives, this would be a good first knife, really. Seriously, a great first knife to experience knives with, because it just has a lot of the good parts of knives that you want that make you appreciate a knife, and it doesn't have any of the negative that you sometimes get with maybe a cheaper, not well-built knife. So all in all, this is the Ben Peterson's Nav Knives Company Labder. Definitely check it out, and check out his website as well. But I highly recommend it. I think everybody's carrying this, and it's around $59. A great deal for you to consider. You might even want to get some of the extra stuff that comes with it, but just really, really a great little knife. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, I sure would appreciate it. Maybe subscribe. It sure helps me to know that the content I'm giving you has some value, and allows me to maybe make some more content. And also, if you would mind checking me out over on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives, I'd appreciate it too. And if you have any questions about this, feel free to let me know in the comments. I would love to answer any questions. Something that I didn't talk about that you would like me to talk about, I would. I will add one quick thing, 2 things I didn't do. Yeah, so it's a 0.10, so it's 0.1 inches of a blade stock. I didn't do that. And I didn't tell you the weight real quick, so you can know how light this knife is. So let me do that real quick. 2.4 ounces. That's super light. So a couple of great things there. Again, thanks for watching. Y'all have a great week. Bye.